This conference will now be recorded.
Fine. So what we discussed is, so we are done with the demo and this is the first class. So in demo class, what we discussed is, so we discussed complete introduction to Power BI. What is Power BI? What we can do with Power BI. So we said that Power BI is not the name of a single software. It contains multiple softwares. What are the different softwares we have in Power BI is, so Power BI contains multiple softwares. What are the different softwares is Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service, Power BI Report Server, Power BI Mobile. These are the four different softwares we have, and we will use these softwares for doing what? BI activities. What are the different business intelligence activities again we have? So any BI will contains this OLTPs, ETL, OLAP, creating reports and visualizations, sharing them with end users, clients. So these are the different BI activities we'll do with any BI tools. Any BI tools. Okay. So if someone missed the demo, please go through the demo video. Please collect the demo video and go through the demo video. So today we'll start the things practically. So till now we discussed theoretically, right? What we will do in Power BI Desktop, what we will do in Power BI Service. We'll start our work. So when you go as a Power BI developer, where you will start your work is in Power BI Desktop. Where you will start your work? Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is the development software where a developer will start his work. So first what we will do in today's class is, this is the second class, class 2. We are done with class 1. This is class 2. In class 2 what we are going to discuss first is, we'll see how to install Power BI Desktop software. How to install Power BI Desktop software. Power BI Desktop software. Power BI Desktop software. So when you go as a Power BI developer, majority of the time a Power BI developer will work in Power BI Desktop software. Majority of the time a developer will work in Power BI Desktop software. 80 to 90% of the time, 80 to 90% of the time a developer will work here, and this is the development software. We will install it and we will see practically what we will do in Power BI Desktop. What we will do in Power BI Desktop. So first, to install the software, first I need to download the software, right? Fine. We'll go and download the software now. We'll go and download the software. Open any web browser. I'm opening Chrome. So open search engine, google.com, and search for Power BI Desktop software download. Search for Power BI Desktop software download. Power BI Desktop software download. When you click on this, it will open some results. So first result is download Microsoft Power BI Desktop from official Microsoft site. From official Microsoft site. So open this link. When you open this link, so here you will find the software. What they're telling is the download page has been depreciated. So it is telling that you don't have the software here. So it is giving another link for us. Go to this link to download the latest release of Power BI Desktop. Copy the link, open the link here. Open the link here. You can find the software here. Online people, I'll give the link for you. Go to this link. Go to this link and go to this link and download the software. You can even download the software parallelly. Fine. So for classroom people, so if you want, if you are unable to find the Power BI Desktop software, you can reach out to me on my mobile number. You people have my mobile number, right? You can reach out to me on my mobile number. I will share that link with you. I'll share that link with you. So here, when you go to the here, you are seeing the software here. Select the language, in which language you want the software, and click on download and click on download. When you click on download, it will show the software. So it is showing two softwares here. One is 64-bit software, another one is 32-bit software. The below one is what? 32-bit software. So which one you need to download is, it purely depends upon your operating system. So before coming here, before discussing it, I'll go and discuss what are the prerequisites to install Power BI Desktop. I'll come and we'll download it. To install Power BI Desktop, what are the prerequisites? We'll see. So if you want to install Power BI Desktop software in your laptop or desktop, what do you need to have in your laptop or desktop? We'll see. That is nothing but what? Prerequisites. 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 What are the different prerequisites is, first you need to have one operating system in your laptop. First you need to have one operating system. Operating system. OS. In your laptop, you need to have the OS. What OS you need to have is, Power BI Desktop can be installed on only Windows OS, Windows operating system. That means it will not support iOS, it will not support Unix, Linux operating systems. So Windows. On what Windows you can install is, we have Windows multiple OS, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. Like this, we have multiple Windows OS, right? Multiple versions of Windows OS. So you can install on Windows 7, you can install on Windows 8, you can install on Windows 10. But I recommend you people to install on Windows 10. But I recommend you people to install the software on Windows 10 operating system. So if you don't have Windows 10, if you have Windows 7 or Windows 8, go and install it. Don't stop. But recommended is Windows 10, latest OS. Fine. So at the time of installing the OS, you might be selecting 32-bit operating system or 64-bit operating system. These days, lot of people, so it purely depends upon the hardware. So if your system is old system, so to have the better performance, we will be installing 32-bit OS. These days, we are installing 64-bit OS only. For some reasons, if you are using old laptop, might be you might have operating systems, 32-bit operating systems. In that case, 32-bit OS, if the OS is 32-bit OS, then only it can support 32-bit softwares. Only 32-bit softwares you can install it. So if your operating system is 64-bit, the best software to install is 64-bit software. What is the difference between these two is, both will contain same options. Only the difference is performance. 64-bit softwares will perform better than 32-bit softwares. Better than 32-bit softwares. Anyway, 99% of the cases, the OS which you are installed is 64-bit. There is no doubt in it. So better to download which software here? 64-bit software. So if you want to download 64-bit software, select this, click on next, click on next. When you click on next, the software will start downloading. So it is a very lightweighted software. You can download within less than a minute. What is the size of the software is 264 MB. 264 MB. Let it download. So we will see other prerequisites here. Other prerequisites. One prerequisite is what? Operating system. You can install on these three operating systems. The second prerequisite we have is .NET framework software. .NET framework software. You need to have .NET framework software. So which version of .NET framework software you need to have is 4.7 or later version. 4.7 or later version. In your laptop, what is the other software you need to have before you install Power BI Desktop is .NET framework software. Which version is best is 4.7 or later version. So the next software you need to have is Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer. IE. In short, we call it as IE software. So which versions you need to have is 9 or later version. 9 or later version. 9 or later version. So these three softwares you need to have in your laptop before you start installing the Power BI desktop software. So majority of the cases, these three softwares will be there in your system when you install Windows 10 operating system. Windows 10. You'll get .NET Framework software also. So IE is nothing but Internet Explorer, web browser. This software, you'll get it. So for some reasons, if you don't have these three softwares in your machine, it is not possible to install Power BI Desktop software. So take an example, we have these three softwares in our machine. So let's assume if you don't have .NET Framework software, at the time of installation, you'll get error. In your laptop, you don't have .NET Framework software, we are unable to install Power BI Desktop software. If you don't have IE software, again you'll get the same message. In your laptop, we don't have IE software, we are unable to install Power BI Desktop. If you have these two softwares, no one will stop you. You can install the Power BI Desktop software smoothly. Again, for some reasons, if you don't have these two softwares, you can easily find it. How we are able to find Power BI Desktop software here? By browsing it, you can find these two softwares in the web easily. You can download it. And again, the installation of software is straightforward. You don't want to configure it. It's a straightforward installation. .NET Framework, Internet Explorer software, just next. You don't want to configure anything. First, just download the Power BI Desktop software, start installing it. At the time of installing, only you'll get two kind of errors if there is no softwares. If you are facing any errors like this, just go to the web and search for .NET Framework software 4.7 or later version. You'll get some softwares, download it, install it. And similar way, install IE also. So majority of the laptops, I'm sure desktops or laptops will have these two softwares. Fine. Assume that we have .NET Framework software, Internet Explorer software. So guys, everyone please install the software today itself, start practicing it. So if you are getting any issues with the software installation, please reach out to me. I'll help you in solving the issues. So please install the software today itself. Fine. So we have these three softwares and we already downloaded the Power BI Desktop software. We'll start installing it. So how to install it? Go to the setup file, open the setup file. So this is the software which I downloaded now. I want to install it. So double click on it to start installing. Again, Power BI Desktop software is a straightforward installation. No configuration required. No configuration required. So select the language, in which language you want to install the software. Select the language, click on next. Click on next. It is allowing, do you want to make the changes to the system? Click on yes. Click on yes. So click on next. Click on next. So accept licensing terms and conditions. Select this, click on next. So it is installing the software in this path, default path, C drive. Let it install. Click on next. So once after installing, do you want to create a shortcut in the desktop? Do you want a shortcut like this? Chrome shortcut you have, right? Do you want a shortcut like this here? If yes, keep this box as it is, click on install. So it will install the software. It will take very less time to install the software. The reason is it is a very lightweighted software. Let it install. So we are done. We're done with installation. Hardly it takes 1 minute, right? So we're done with installing the software. Then you want to open the software. When you click on finish, do you want to open the software automatically? I don't want it. I will tell you how to open it. Uncheck this, click on finish. We're done with installing the software. So you got what here? You got a shortcut. You got a shortcut. Now we'll start working on Power BI Desktop. So we are done with installing the Power BI Desktop software. So we seen where to download the software. So after downloading, before we install Power BI Desktop, we seen what are the prerequisites, and we seen how to install the Power BI Desktop software. We seen it's a straightforward installation. We seen how to install Power BI Desktop software. Then we'll start working it. We are done with installation. Now we'll start working with Power BI Desktop. When you go as a Power BI developer, where you will start your work is in Power BI Desktop only. In Power BI Desktop only. Let me open Power BI Desktop. So we'll open the Power BI Desktop. We'll start working on Power BI Desktop now. How to open the Power BI Desktop software is one way, double click on the software, it will open the software. Another way, go to the start menu, you'll see one folder with the name Microsoft Power BI Desktop. You'll see a folder with the name Microsoft Power BI Desktop. When you expand it, you'll see software. Click on this, software will start opening. For you also, once you install, open the software. So for the first time when you open the software, it will open a screen where it will ask you to register. It will open a screen where it will ask you to register. What you need to provide here is you need to provide your first name, last name, email address. So here email address, what email it can accept is only company email it will accept. It will not accept Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail. It will not accept. Only company email ID, corporate email ID. You need to provide it. So as many of the people you don't have the corporate email IDs here, I will provide you the service accounts. I will provide you. I will provide 3 service accounts for practice. As many of the people are not having the company email IDs here, so we are not able to register to Power BI. We are not able to register. I will provide you this. So when you are not able to register here, so do you have any close window to close this? You don't have. When I click on done, it will give error. So all the fields are mandatory. It is not possible. Only the option now you have is below that you have one link. Already have a Power BI account. You want to tell that already I have a Power BI account. I will sign in. So I don't want to create an account. Already I have an account. I will sign in. I am telling here. Click on sign in. So you said that you have an account, right? These accounts I will provide. 3 accounts I will provide. You can sign in. So to do the development work in Power BI Desktop, you don't want to sign in. Luckily, you have what option here? To close this sign in window. To close this sign in window, you have an option here. So then just click on close. When you click on close, it will open one screen. We call this screen as start screen of Power BI. The screen, what I am calling it as start screen of Power BI. Screen of Power BI. In the start screen, as a developer, we are not going to develop anything. From here, we can just access some help documents related to Power BI. Power BI blogs, forums, or tutorials. Microsoft prepares some tutorials related to Power BI. You can go and read the tutorials. As a developer, we are not going to develop anything in the start screen. Again, you need to close this start screen. When you close this start screen, you will be landing in the report view of Power BI Desktop. So when I hover here, so you are seeing yellow line. I'm currently here. This view we call it as report view of Power BI Desktop. The view we call it as report view of Power BI Desktop. For the first time, when you open the Power BI Desktop, where you will be landing is report view of Power BI Desktop. There are multiple views in Power BI Desktop. We will be landing in the report view of Power BI Desktop. Fine. So to do the development work in Power BI Desktop, you don't want to sign in. To do the development work, to do the ETL activities, to prepare a OLAP model, on top of OLAP model, to create the visuals, you don't want to sign in. So whatever the visuals we created, why we created them? To share with the end users. If you want to share that visuals with the end users, first you want to move that visuals from Power BI Desktop to where? Power BI Service. If you want to move from Power BI Desktop to Power BI Service, this time you need to mandatorily sign in. For first few days, you don't want service accounts. So to do the development work in Power BI Desktop, you don't want service accounts. When you want to share your development with the end users, then you want to sign in. Fine. So again, I want to tell here, Power BI Desktop software is a free software. Power BI Desktop software is what? Free software. You can use it for free of cost. Not only you, company people also use it for free of cost. It's a free software. Free software and open source are same, one and the same. free softwares and open source are one and the same? No. Free softwares are different, open source are different. People will think that it is a open source. It's not a open source, it's a free software. Open source means anyone can use what is the code in Microsoft use some code to develop Power BI desktop software. Anyone can use that code for developing their softwares. That is open source. The software is Microsoft software. Whatever the code Microsoft is using to develop this software, they have their rights. No one cannot use this code. So they developed one software and they are providing it for free of cost to the people to use it. Power BI Desktop is a free software. Company people, they don't want to pay any money. You people, you don't want to pay any money to Microsoft to use this. Fine. So we know that Power BI Desktop software contains three different softwares. I said that in the demo, Power BI Desktop software contains how many softwares? Three softwares. It contains Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. Three softwares it contains. So first, where we will start our work is in Power Query. So you need to know in Power BI Desktop, where do we have Power Query software? Where do we have Power Query software? Where do we have Power Query software? We'll see. So we'll try to open Power Query software first. We'll try to open Power Query software first. So we open Power BI Desktop. This software is what software? Power BI Desktop software. It contains how many softwares? Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. Power View. You need to know where do we have Power Query software, where do we have Power Pivot software, where do we have Power View software, and we need to know what we will do in each software. What we will do in each software. Let me start with Power Query. So we know that Power BI Desktop contains three softwares. First software is what? Power Query. So we will see what we will do in Power Query software. Power Query is used for doing the ETL activities. Power Query is used for doing the ETL activities. ETL activities. So let me open Power Query first, then we will see how to do the ETL activities. So how to open Power Query is, so go to Home tab, click on Edit Queries. In the Home tab, you have Edit Queries, you need to click on it. Go to Home tab, click on Edit Queries. It will open the Power Query software. How to open the Power Query software is, Home tab, click on Edit Queries, will open the Power Query software. Let me click on Edit Queries. I'm in Home tab. When I click on Edit Queries, just observe what is happening here. So it is opening a new window. What is the window name? Power Query Editor window. So when you click on it, it will open a new window. The window name is Power Query Editor window. We can even call it as user interface. Power Query Editor user interface. This complete interface, whatever you are seeing, this complete part, this complete thing, I can even call it as UI, user interface. So let me maximize it. Previously I'm here, so we don't have this. When I click on close and play, I don't have anything. So just you have what? Only one screen here, one screen. So to open Power Query, go to Home tab, click on Edit Queries. When you click on Edit Queries, now you got one more screen. The screen name is Power Query Editor user interface. This is the place where Power Query Editor user interface is the place where you will do the ETL activities. What it contains is, it will contains hundreds of graphical user interface options. Power Query Editor user interface will contains hundreds of GUI options. We call them as graphical user interface options. Graphical user interface options. It will contains hundreds of graphical user interface options. With the help of these hundreds of graphical user interface options, we're going to perform what? ETL activities. ETL activities. So what ETL stands for? What ETL stands for? ETL stands for extract, transform, load. Full form for ETL is what? Extract, transform, and load. Extract, transform, and load. So we'll do the ETL activities here. So in ETL, the first work is extracting the data. Now we will see how to extract the data. So to extract the data in the Power Query, I said that we'll have hundreds of GUI options. Using the GUI options, we'll do the ETL activities. So you want to take help of one GUI option to do the ETL activity. So if you see here, what I'm talking is new source is one GUI option. Recent sources is another GUI option. Enter data is another GUI option. Manage parameters is another GUI option. Choose columns is another GUI options. Like this, you will have how many GUI options here? Hundreds. Almost hundreds of GUI options you will have. Using hundreds of graphical user interface options, you want to do ETL activities here. ETL activities. In the ETL, first one is extracting the data. So when you go as a Power BI developer, first I said that in the demo class, when you go as a Power BI developer, first 1 week of time, you don't want to do any development work. First 1 week, what they will explain is, so what is their business? So let's assume you went as a Power BI developer for Amazon. They will explain what is their business, what business data they have, in which OLTP they are storing the business data, how they are storing the business data, they will explain. Once after explaining it, they will tell you what analysis you need to perform, what reports you need to perform, they will explain. Then you need to start your work. So sometimes clients will provide you only one OLTP systems. When you go as Power BI developer, majority of the cases, more than 60% of the projects, they will provide only one OLTP system for you, one OLTP system for you, and they will ask you to analyze the data which is there in one OLTP system or one data source, one data source. Other name for, so in BI terminology we call it as OLTP. When it comes to Power BI terminology, we call it as data sources. From where we are taking the data into Power BI, we call it as data sources. When you go as a Power BI developer, greater than 60% of the time, you'll get how many data sources? Only one data source. Sometimes you will get two or three data sources also. First, you need to thoroughly understand what data we have here, and you need to thoroughly understand what analysis client is asking to perform. And in the introduction classes, I said that as OLTP systems are not recommended for reporting purpose, you need to create a separate system called what? OLAP system. Where we will create the OLAP system in Power BI? In Power Pivot. So from OLTPs, you want to move the data to the OLAP. So to move the data from OLTP to the OLAP, what softwares you need? ETL softwares. The ETL software we have in Power BI is Power Query. Power Query will go to the sources, it will extract the data, it will transform the data, and it will load the data into the Power Pivot model. Now that is what we are doing. Take an example. In this project, current project, my client provided few data in Excel files. My client provided few data in SQL Server. He is asking to analyze the data together. Now what you need to do? First, you need to go to the Excel. You need to extract the data what you need. You need to go to SQL Server. You need to extract the data what you need. That we will do now. That we will do now. So let me go here. So here to extract the data, you need to know what is the GUI option you need to use. In Power Query Editor, we'll do ETL activities. First one in the ETL activities is extracting the data. To extract the data, the GUI option I will use is what? New source. New source. From which sources I want to bring the data? Click on new source. Click on new source. What are the default sources we will connect? Frequently, it will show here. Excel, SQL Server, Analysis Service. It is showing here. Let's assume I want to connect to Oracle database. Do you have Oracle database here? No. You need to click on what? More. When you click on more, you can see what are the different sources you can connect. From Power Query, you can connect to any kind of sources. From Power Query, you can fetch the data from any kind of data sources. You'll see hundreds of data sources here. You'll see hundreds of data sources where you can connect to them, where you can bring the data. So if you want to connect to Oracle database, you want to select Oracle database. This time I want to connect to Excel. First we will see how to connect to an Excel file. In Power Query, how to bring the data from an Excel file. You'll see, click on Excel. This time my source is Excel. Click on Excel. You need to browse where your Excel file is located. Fine. You are planning to bring the data from Excel. Where that Excel file is. Let's assume that Excel file is there in D drive, Power BI material, Power View, installing Power BI. I have an Excel file, sample superstore. I want to connect to this file. I want to connect to this file. Let me open this file. What Excel files will it contains? Sheets. How many sheets you have? Orders, returns, peoples. Three sheets you have. Three sheets you have. Now I want to bring the data from these three tables. Three tables are sheets. How can you bring the data is, so new source, click on Excel, browse it. Where it is there? This PC, D drive, Power BI material, Power View, installing Power BI and user interface, sample, superstore. Click on open. When you click on open, Excel file will contain sheets or pivot tables. It will show what are the different sheets. How many sheets you have there? Three sheets. It is showing three sheets. What data you need for analysis, select them. If you want only orders table data, you can select only orders table data. If you want this two tables data also, you can select two tables data. Now in this case, I want all the three tables data. I'm selecting three tables. I'm pressing OK. When you press OK, what we did is we brought the three tables into the Power Query. Like this, you want to go to all the source systems. When the client is providing you multiple source systems, you want to go to all the source systems. Whatever the tables you need for analysis, you need to extract them to the Power Query. So this time my client provided few tables in Excel, few tables in SQL Server. I already brought few tables from Excel into the Power Query. Now I want to brought few tables from SQL Server into the Power Query. Now how to bring few more tables from SQL Server now? I want to bring few more tables from SQL Server. Click on new source again. Click on new source. This time what is the source? SQL Server. When you click on this, server name, database name. Who will provide these server names and database names? Clients will provide you. When you go as a Power BI developer, clients will tell you from which server you want to bring the data, from which database you want to bring the data. I have server names and database names with me. I will use this server names and database names. This is my server name. Let me connect to this server. And this is the database name. Let me connect to this database. One SQL Server software will contains multiple databases, and one database will contains multiple tables. Database will contains what? Tables. So when I press OK, it will show list of tables in the database. It will open the database. It will show list of tables in the database. How many tables you have here? 4 tables. So you need to bring only the tables which you need for reporting purpose. I need customer table. I need products table. I need sales table. I don't need time table. So whatever the tables you want, select those tables, press OK. Like this, you want to go to all the source systems. You want to extract the data. You want to extract the data. So we are done with extracting the data here. We're done with extracting the data. Once after extracting the data, what is the next work? Transforming the data. I said that in any ETL tool, the major work we are going to do is transforming the data. Extracting the data is nothing. So how much time it takes to extract the data this time? Hardly it takes 10 minutes of time. Okay. Extracting the data is nothing. Transforming the data. Transforming the data means converting the data from one format to another format. Another format. Converting the data from one format to another format, we call it as transforming the data. Sometimes the data in the source will be in one format. The sources which we are getting, the data will be in one format. Client will be expecting to see the data in the reports in some other format. Clients will be expecting to see the data in reports in some other format. Take an example. Take an example this time. So I have one customer table in the source. Customer name is there in customer first name, customer middle name, customer last name. Customer name is there in 3 different columns. While creating the report, client is asking to show customer full name and their sales. Client is asking to show what? Customer full name and their sales. The data in the source system is in one format. Client is expecting to see the data in some other format. So when you go here, customer table. Customer table, customer name is storing in how many columns? Customer first name, customer middle name, customer last name. Let me load this data as it is into the Power Query. Now I am not going to transform the data. I'll come back again to Power Query. I extracted the data. Let me load the data as it is into the Power Query. I'll come back and I'll explain the transformation. transformation. So now we'll see how to load the data. How to load the data is, we extracted the data using new source. Sometimes we don't even do single transformation also. So this time, take an example, I don't want any transformations. I want to load the data into Power Pivot. When you want to load the data into the Power Pivot, you need to click on what? Close and apply. Close and apply is the option which you need to click on to load the data into the Power Pivot. When you click on close and apply, how many tables will load into the Power Pivot this time? 6 tables. I'm clicking on close and apply. When I click on close and apply, all the 6 tables will start loading into the Power Pivot. Fine, let them load. Let them load. So once after loading that 6 tables, where you can see that 6 tables is model view. This view name we call it as model view. When you go to the model view, you can see all the 6 tables here. So when you go here, so what are the 6 tables you loaded? You can see here. How many tables you loaded into Power Pivot? 6 tables. So right, now client is asking to create one visualization, and he is asking to show what is the total sales amount we made. So when they're asking to show what is the total sales amount we made, we have one table with the name sales data. Sales data table contains, we have a table with the name sales data. Sales data table contains sales amount column. Sales amount column. When you need total sales, you just need to drag that sales amount column. Drag the sales amount column. When you drag any numeric column, by default, what it will do? By default, it will sum the values. By default, it will sum the values. It is summing all the values in that sales column. The total sales, sum of sales we are doing is 3.11 million. So you'll understand. So now what client is asking to show is, fine, this is the total sales. Show me customer wise sales. He's asking to create one report where he want to see customer name wise sales. Each customer, what is the sales they are doing? What is the sales they are doing? If you want to show customer wise sales, take one report here. So Control Z, not in this visualization. I want new report where I want to show customer wise sales. So customer name, in which table you'll have is customer data table, you'll have customer name. How you have customer first name, middle name, last name. You need to drag them. Customer first name. So we don't have full name column. Do you have full name column? Means you don't have any full name column here. You don't have any full name column. So this time I want to drag customer first name, customer middle name, customer last name, and customer wise what I need is sales amount. Now you can show it. What my client is telling is, I don't like to see the customer name in 3 different columns. I want to see customer name in full name. Customer full name. Full name. The data in the source is in one format. The client is expecting to see the data in some other format here. So now when the client is expecting to see the data in some other format, what you need to do? You need to transform the data. You need to convert these 3 columns into one column. So where you can transform the data is, you can transform the data in the Power Query. Now I want to convert these 3 columns, customer first name, middle name, last name, into full name. I want to go to Power Query. I want to transform the data. How to go to Power Query here? How to go to Power Query? Home tab, click on edit queries. Click on edit queries. When you click on edit queries, you'll go to the home tab where you can transform the data. In which table I want to transform the data? Customer data table. What I need to do here? I need to combine these 3 columns into one column. So select the 3 columns. Select the 3 columns here. First name, middle name, last name. Select the 3 columns in which order you want. If you want first name first, middle name next, last name next, go with this order. If you want last name first, middle name next, first name next, you can select in this order. In which order you need the output, select in the same order. Then go to the add column. Then you have an option called what? Merge columns. I want to combine 3 columns into one column. Every ETL activity you will be doing with the help of geo options. Extracting the data will be done using geo option. Here, transforming the data is also doing with the help of geo option. Loading the data will be also done with geo option. You don't want to write any code. So you need to click on merge columns. When I click on merge columns, it will open one window called merge columns window. Fine, you are asking to combine first name, middle name, last name. What is the separator you want? Between first name and middle name, what you need? A space. What we need? A space. What is the new column name you want? What is the new column name you want? Customer full name. Full name. Customer full name. Press OK. As soon as you press OK, at the end you will get one new column which will contains customer full name. John V. Ang. If you go and see here, first name is John, middle name is V. Yang. So you got the full name. Now click on close and apply. You are done with transformation. Once you are done with transformation, how can you load the data? Click on close and apply. When you click on close and apply, the transformed data will be loaded to the Power Pivot. Now what you can do is, instead of having first name, middle name, last name, you can drag this time what? Customer full name. Customer full name. For now I am dragging it. I am keeping both of them. I'll remove it. One. Arun J. Sharma. Arun J. Sharma. What is the sales? I don't want these three columns. I want only customer full name column. Remove the first name, middle name, last name. Each customer wise, what is the sales? This is how client is expecting to see the data. Sometimes the data in the source system will be in one format. The client will be expecting to see the data in Power View in some other format. So when you client is expecting to see the data in some other format, before you load the data into the Power Pivot, at this level you need to transform the data, extract the data, transform the data, load the data. Whatever the data you have in the Power Pivot, show the data as it is in the visualizations. Okay. This is a small example which I given to transform the data. So how to go to Power Query again? Click on Edit Queries. It will take you to the Power Query where you can transform the data in all the tables. When you select the orders table, so when you want to transform the data, take an example, this customer name column, client is expecting to see the data in the uppercase. Customer name column you have in which case now? Proper case. Client is expecting to see the data in uppercase. That means what? You need to transform this data. If you want to convert this customer name column to the uppercase, transformation is nothing but just converting the data from one format to another format. That's it. So that is nothing but a transformation. When you want to convert this customer name column to the uppercase, select the customer name column, go to the transform tab. You need to know where will be the GUI option available to convert this customer name column to what? Uppercase. Uppercase. In Power Query, you don't want to write any code. To extract the data, to do a specific transformation, to load the data, what are the different GUI options we have? How to use those GUI options? How to use those GUI options? Now, to convert this customer name to the uppercase, select the customer name column. You have option called what? Format. You have an option called what? Uppercase. This is the GUI option which will convert the column to the uppercase. And I click on this, it is converting to what? Uppercase. All the text is converting to the uppercase. Like this, you want to transform the data wherever you want. When I go to the people's table, the first row you have is not the data. Person and region. Is it the data? Person and region. It is the column headers. Column headers. So each region have a sales representative. That information it is storing here. Region and person. It is not the data. It is header. So where you need to have this? On the header you need to have this. So now I want to transform the data in the people's table. What transformation I need to do is, I need to move the header to the first row to the header. When you want to move the first row to the header, you need to know what is the GUI option you need to use. What is the option you have in the home tab? Use first row as header. When you click on use first row as header, the first row will move to header automatically. So now the data is in the proper format. Go to returns table also. The returns table, what is this first row? Header row. So if you want to move this first row to the header row, again you need to click on what? Use first row as header. So like this, customer data, I have proper data here. So from these three columns, I expected a new column. I created it. I have the proper data what I need in the visualizations. Like this, go to all the tables. If you want to transform the data in any table, you can transform the data using the GUI options. Power Query editor, what you can do is you can extract the data, you can transform the data, and you can load the data. So you can extract the data using new source. You can transform the data using GUI options. So based on our requirement, we will use any GUI option and we will load the data using close and apply. Like this, we will do the ETL activities. So now I'm done with all the my data in all the tables is in the proper format. I'm done with all the ETL activities. Last work is loading the data. Last work is loading the data. So people loading the data. You can click on close and apply to load the data into the Power Pivot. Click on close and apply to load the data into the Power Pivot. When you click on close and apply, all the tables will be loaded to where? Into the model view. So this is how we will do the ETL activities in the Power Query. Power Query is a software which is there in Power BI Desktop. First module is Power Query, which is there in Power BI Desktop, which we used for doing the ETL activities. Today we seen how to open the Power Query software. So how to open the Power Query software is Home tab, click on Edit Queries. As soon as you click on Edit Queries, it will open a new window with the name what? Power Query Editor window, which will contain hundreds of graphical user interface options. With the help of them, we'll do the ETL activities. So ETL stands for extracting the data, transforming the data, loading the data. So we've seen how to extract the data, how to transform the data, and how to load the data into the Power Pivot model. So this I can call it as I given some overview of Power Query today. In today's class, we discussed two things: overview of Power Query, and another thing we discussed in today's class is Power BI Desktop Installation. So we haven't discussed much things in today's class. We discussed Power BI Desktop software installation, install it. Once after installing, understand what we can do in Power Query. Open the Power Query software, do some ETL activities, extract some data from file, any file, transform some data and load the data to the Power Pivot. So tomorrow we'll go and see what we can do with next software. What is the next software we have? Power Pivot. We can see overview of Power Pivot tomorrow's class. Overview of Power Pivot. Power Pivot. What is Power Pivot software? What we can do with Power Pivot software? We'll see.